rare, real photos you need to see. Angela Crawford remained to defend her home from the McKinney fire while others evacuated. Heavy rains caused a landslide that left a house and pool perched precariously on a cliff. Kharkiv residents shop in darkness as Ukraine implements emergency power cuts due to Russian attacks on its energy infrastructure. Konstantin Melnikov's uniquely designed private residence stands in central Moscow. Christina Vera saves her remaining possessions from her ash-covered home after volcanic eruptions. A man dressed as Santa Claus paddles aboard. Bioluminescent fungi known as foxfire emit a soft glow to attract spore-spreading insects. Hong Kong protesters made a daring escape from police siege at the Polytechnic University by rappelling down a bridge to awaiting motorbikes. The 2019 Chanel & Pharrell limited edition yellow rhinestone hoodie sells online for up to $12,000. Animal rights activists protest naked against the use of animal products in textiles. The Arc de Triomphe, recently reopened, displays damage from anti-government protests. A child runs into a dust storm in New South Wales where thunderstorms have plunged towns into daytime darkness. The gorilla assumed a human-like posture. Manaus residents cross a bridge amidst floating rubbish on the rising Negro River. In Paris in 1888, the Eiffel Tower was under construction, a major undertaking for the 1889 World's Fair. Muslims performed Taraweeh prayers at the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque on the first night of Ramadan. Moonshiners used cow shoes during Prohibition to disguise human footprints as animal tracks, avoiding detection by law enforcement. Palestinians celebrate Ramadan's approach by spinning steel wool sparklers in the rubble of a Gaza refugee camp. The falling cat phenomenon in 1969 aided NASA in preparing astronauts for zero-gravity orientation. Typhoon Taraji's heavy rains caused significant street flooding. Protesters demanded the Prime Minister's resignation and monarchy reforms while holding inflatable toys during a pro-democracy rally. A fire engulfed the Ukta oil refinery. Polar bear Hamish searches for his red ball in a muddy pond at the Highland Wildlife Park. An unexpectedly venomous caterpillar, disguised as a fuzzy toupee with legs, lurks in America. Stags graze on oak leaves in Richmond Park, home to hundreds of wild deer. Jonathan Paredes cliff dives from a 27-meter platform during the Red Bull Cliff Diving World Series. In Stradown, a boy dressed in hay represents Judas during the village's unique Easter procession. An earthquake-triggered landslide damaged houses in Atsuma, Hokkaido, Japan. A model showcases a design from Christian Dada's Spring-Summer 2020 men's collection at Paris Fashion Week. Dentures were found adhered to a toilet. A 330-million-year-old Carboniferous coral fossil, Siphonodendran, reveals Scotland's ancient equatorial location. A drone photo reveals the Yessa Reservoir in Navarra, significantly below its typical water level. A Russian hypersonic missile strike left a crater in Pisokhin, near Kharkiv, amidst a large-scale attack on Ukraine. Afghan women athletes pose with their sports equipment, concealing their identities due to fear of reprisal. Abandoned boats rest on the dried lakebed of Poyang. The iridescent Brazilian jewel beetle, prized for its color-shifting beauty and rarity, can fetch up to $2,000. Dated back to 2600 BCE, Queen Puabi's $500,000 lapis lazuli cylinder seal. NASA's Perseverance rover captured an image of its new home within Mars' Jezero crater. A Danish clothier in 1936 used a scaffold to display over 1,000 coats. In 1926, Gertrude Ederle, a 19-year-old, became the first woman to successfully swim the English Channel. A dog sits amidst the rubble of a collapsed building in Adiyaman. High winds and Lake Erie waves encased a Hoover beach house in ice. The stag beetle, prized for its antler-like mandibles and rarity, can command prices up to $89,000 among collectors. Mukesh Ambani's $2 billion 27-story Mumbai residence, Antilia, is a luxurious skyscraper equipped with helipads, a theater, and extensive parking. Residents watch smoke from the McDougall Creek wildfire engulf Okanagan Lake as Canadian officials urge evacuations due to rapidly spreading fires. Record-breaking heat in England led to devastating house fires in Wennington, East London. A group of samurai posed for a photograph in 1900. A courtroom artist depicted Ed Gein during his trial, noting that he was the most evil person she had ever seen. A family observes Qingming, Hong Kong's annual tomb sweeping day at Diamond Hill Cemetery. Lovers embraced against the misty backdrop of London's Shard and City. Michael Jordan's shattered backboard Air Jordan 1s sold for $615,000. Eddie Merckx' $525,000 1972 hour record bike, a minimalist marvel. Liu Lingchao walked home from Shenzhen to Ronggun, carrying a self-made portable shelter. Rescuers evacuated residents amidst heavy flooding, sparking public anger over a local official's suggestion to sacrifice flood-hit areas as a moat for Beijing. A calf became trapped in mud at drought-stricken Lake Ngami. The eyeless and endangered Kauai cave wolf spider, uniquely adapted to Kauai's lava tubes. The Thomas Fire raged in the hills, marking a week of destructive wildfires. Dr. Marie Stopes modified the racial brand rubber vault cap, a 1920s contraceptive device. A game piece from 2600 BC Mohenjo-Daro reveals ancient Indus Valley recreation. Eugene Cernan, photographed here, remains the last person to walk on the moon as of 2023. The Golden Gate Bridge's 50th anniversary in 1987 drew an unexpected 800,000 people. A massive sinkhole has opened in Turkey. Survivors of the 1972 Andes plane crash are pictured. Dave Grohl and Chris Novoselic attended Kurt Cobain's funeral in Seattle, 1994. A man poses beside a massive wine storage container in 1881, Kankakee, Georgia. A pyramid of German helmets from World War I was erected in New York in 1919. A 3,500-year-old bronze and gold prosthetic hand discovered in Switzerland remains an enigma, possibly a ritualistic object rather than a functional limb. An actual photo of the bomb over Nagasaki mid-explosion. A 1932 Paris invention, the amphibious bicycle carried up to 120 pounds on land and water. Lunch atop a skyscraper immortalizes 11 ironworkers perched on a beam high above Manhattan in 1932. The Beowulf manuscript, the sole surviving Old English epic, offers a crucial window into early medieval English literature and culture. President Jimmy Carter's message aboard Voyager 1 was intended as a greeting to extraterrestrial life. During World War II, a soldier sprayed an Italian home with DDT and kerosene to combat malaria. Belgian coal miners are depicted returning from a day's work circa 1900. In 1922, a Washington, D.C. beach policeman enforced swimsuit-length regulations. Italian inventor Davide Cislaghi tested his unique single-wheel engine in 1933. The Book of Kells, a lavishly decorated 800 AD Celtic Gospel manuscript, stands as a masterpiece of medieval Irish art. Queen Amana-Shakedo's $5 million first-century BCE jewelry from Meroe. SpaceX's Falcon Heavy successfully launched from Kennedy Space Center. A helicopter airlifted a cow from high Swiss alpine meadows after its summer grazing. A 9-year-old eagle, Victor, captured stunning footage of Chamonix glaciers and mountains during flight. Amidst ongoing aftershock, a man photographs a tsunami-destroyed bridge. Emergency workers rescued a woman from the rubble of a collapsed building in Elbistan. Madonna's $8 million 18th century Lisbon Palace blends historic grandeur with modern luxury. Greenpeace activists protested Shell's North Sea oil and gas field expansion. The ceremonial Sword of Ur, a 2600 BCE bronze and gold artifact. The deep-sea viperfish uses bioluminescence and fang-like teeth to hunt in extreme low-light conditions. Caiman lizards, South American semi-aquatic reptiles with striking coloration, are expensive and demanding pets. Lions near a Hwange National Park clinic highlight the dangerous human-wildlife conflict caused by elephant overpopulation. Unprecedented torrential rains caused widespread flooding. Terrified students sought refuge on a ledge, hiding from a gunman at the Prague Faculty of Arts. A sandstorm engulfed the city of Zhangye in Gansu province. Search and rescue continues amid collapsed buildings in Hatay, following the devastating Turkey-Syria earthquakes. The 1500 Juan de la Cosa map, the oldest known depiction of the Americas. Alberto Alza and his son, in traditional cachacero attire, participate in the 300-year-old horseback competition reenacting historical territorial battles.